All right. First and foremost, we're gonna turn face east and we're gonna give our praises and glory to
Yahweh, Ba'ashem, Yahushai, Ba'ashem, Rakadash.
a double unto the apostle Edis of GMS. Salutation to you, brother. This word of truth. Truth and sinful corners. GMS Mississippi Camp. Tonight we're gonna listen. It'll be good in bad times. All right. I say we gonna, like I always say, we're gonna continue push the truth. You get with it or get the fuck on. All right. Like, you know, we can't keep going over and over and over. What you supposed to do though? Same time, if you can't get it, hey, it is what it is in the day, but we're gonna keep pushing the truth. All right. Lord told you to come out here, push the truth. That's what we're gonna do. Now you got a problem with it? Oh well, you don't like it? Get lost. I'm gonna let the brothers take over.
Time. Look, we're coming into like we out here to proclaim that look, trouble is coming. Trouble is coming. Great disaster, great terror, you know, is coming to you in America, especially you tribes. Why? Because it's called Jacob's trouble. You know, the Lord is going to visit the world for our sakes, but also because of you. You know, the Lord is about to visit the world. You know, and when he visits the world, the first people he's going to visit is his own people. You know? You get that from?
This is Jeremiah chapter 30, verse 7. Alas, for the day is great, so that none is like it.
For none is like it. That's how bad it's gonna be, because you can call some bad times in the Maccabees, in the in Exodus, you know, and all between them. You know, you can call some bad times Israel went through. But it says what? It's gonna, you read that again?
Alas, for the day is great, so that none is like it.
That none is like it. You know? We haven't seen the times that's what's about to happen. We haven't seen bad yet. You know? You thought you seen bad, you thought you heard bad. Now you haven't seen it. You haven't heard it. But it's about to come.
Like doing in the Roman state Jerusalem, it was bad. It was bad too, but this gonna be worse.
It's gonna top that.
It's gonna top that.
You know what? It's gonna be for who? Esau, the rest of the heathen nation, and 2/3 of our people. You know? You got it.
This is Matthew chapter 24 and verse 21. Yahweh shall speak it. For then shall be great tribulation, such as was not since the beginning of the world to this time, no, nor ever shall be.
There's not going to be a bad point in history after this. You know, this is going to be the worst existence we'll ever see. That's how bad it's going to be. But not for the 1/3, not for the elect.
I'm going to read 21 and 22 in the NLT. This is Matthew 24, 21 and 22 NLT. It says, for there will be greater anguish than, so for there will be greater anguish than at any time since the beginning of since the world began. And it will never be so great again. In fact, verse 22, in fact, unless the time of calamity is shortened, not a single person will survive, but it will be shortened for the sake of the Most High's chosen ones.
For the sake of the Most High's chosen. See, the elect, they good. Those of you that have been calling upon the names and sincerity of Yahweh and Yahushai, those who have been, you know, bowing down to those names, observing the understanding, you know, the scriptures that comes with those names. Y'all gonna be good. You know, y'all gonna be good in these evil times. You know, y'all gonna be good in these evil times. What? Because what? You got with the name, you got with them before the bad times start to roll. You know, you got with him before, you know, he was up, so to speak. You know,
once that famine of the word hit, you know, that's it. Once we look at it, it says it's gonna be like the time of Noah. You know, everybody was mocking and scoffing, knowing what it says, giving in the marriage, and, you know, niggas were partying and having fun. But once it started raining, you know, niggas started running for the ark. But the Lord had already sealed that door. The famine of the word had already happened. Prophesied Noah being out on the highways and byways, in spirit at that time that was over with. So once the Lord began to rain that judgment, once everything started to really roll, because we ain't seen nothing yet. We see like the Lord viewing, when you cooking a stew, when it first started to bubble, you first started to see the water getting hot. You know what I'm saying? But once it really, really started cooking, you can see the intensity of that heat and like the intensity that's going on in that pot right now. The Lord just got it on he preheating the water right now. So, but once it started happening, then everybody gonna start running for the ark, but the door gonna be closed.
I got precept. This is the book of Sirach, chapter 33, verse 1. Is going to what the brother just said. There shall no evil happen unto him that feareth the Lord, but in temptation, even again, he will deliver him.
You see, you're gonna run into trouble in times of Jacob's trouble. What the Lord gonna deliver you to show His power, to show His mercy. He's going to show His power in these times. Look for miracles.
It's only for Israel,
and it's only for Israel. It's only for the elect of Israel. I got a quick one for y'all. Get Job chapter 5, verse 15 for me.
This is Job chapter 5. Is it?
I think 19 slot.
15 says he saved the poor from the sword.
Not 19. This
is Job chapter 5, verse 19. He shall deliver thee in 6 troubles.
He's gonna deliver you in 6 troubles. You're gonna run into trouble after trouble after trouble, but Yahweh Shem Shai is gonna be with you. Just like when them three Hebrew boys were thrown in that fire. What? They saw a 4th one. Yahweh Shai was with them. And the smell of smoke or fire was not on them. And when they came none of their clothes was burnt. Nothing was burnt. They weren't even hurt. 6 troubles, he gonna deliver you. Continue.
But that's also symbolic too. Because what's gonna happen, these nukes, the fire, the beams from the chariots. But Yahweh Shai gonna be with us. We're gonna be untouched. Our Baratas are with us. No, so we're gonna be saved in the twinkling of an eye.
Okay, continue.
It says, in 7, there shall no evil touch thee.
And that 7 is, as the brother said, the 7 is the nuclear destruction. It's that final destruction.
The completeness of Esau's leadership.
It's like Yahweh Shem Shai is gonna be with his elect. Can brother give me that scripture that says in famine?
I already got it.
Oh, you got it. Okay.
This is Isaiah. This is the book of Isaiah 65 and verse 13.
It's 2:26.
It says, therefore, thus said the Lord power, Yahweh Shem Shai, behold, my servants shall eat, but ye shall be hungry.
My servant shall eat, but ye shall be hungry. Who's his servant? The elect, those that have been calling upon his name, those that have been observing his ordinance, that has humbled themselves towards the power of Abraham, Isaac, and Jacob. They gonna eat. But who's gonna be starving? Those who have rejected Yahweh Shem Shai, and those who are outside of Yahweh Shem Shai's promise. Y'all gonna starve. Because what? Because the whole world is against Yahweh Shem Shai and his people. And he's gonna show y'all something. He's gonna show you that he's a living power. He's gonna show that he exists. He's gonna show his power through his people.
I'm gonna say he's gonna show you that these words are true. And none of them will not come to pass, man. Everything that the Lord speaking, through his men, they're not gonna come back void, man. So you're gonna know that that was the spirit of Yahweh Shem Shai out there giving me that warning all along.
But Jake said you either with me or against me. A lot of niggas like to be in the middle right now. With you in them times where you can bullshit, lollygag, and everything right now, you can't say, I don't consent to that. I'm my own person. No, it's gonna come a time where you niggas gonna have to make a choice. It's gonna be Yahweh Shem Shai or it's gonna be Esau Edom. It's gonna be deliverance from Yahweh Shem Shai or your final affirmation or whatever you want to call it to destruction be that you getting that MOTB and the Lord burning your ass up.
It says, but ye shall like it. Behold, my servant shall drink, but ye shall be thirsty. Behold, my servant shall rejoice, but ye shall be ashamed.
Con, and that's that hedge around those who fear and call upon the name of Yahweh and Yahweh Shai. You know, that's the hedge. The elect gonna be good. The elect gonna be good. You know, this trouble is not for the elect, but for the 2/3 and the rest of the heathen nations, especially Esau. You know, the elect gonna be good in these times. You know,
we're gonna be tried too. We're gonna be tried too, meaning we're gonna have to go through our testing as well. Ultimately, if we are that number, Apparatus are, we're gonna be all right. You know, we're gonna see it through. You know, this is 2nd Ezra chapter 2, verse 26. For as the servants whom I have given thee, there shall not one of them perish, for I will require them from among thy number.
Okay, continue.
Verse 27. Be not weary, for when the day of trouble and heaviness cometh, others shall weep and be sorrowful, but thou shalt be merry and have abundance.
Come, you're gonna be fed, you're gonna be drinking water. Look, you're gonna have Yahweh Shema Shai is gonna have something stored for you, no matter where you go, no matter how desolate it look outside. You know, no matter how the stores look, the ground look, the rivers look. Yahweh Shema Shai is gonna have something stored for you, no matter where you go. You know, well, you gotta look for a miracle. What you gotta remember when we was all in the wilderness, you know, Yahweh Shema Shai made all them quails fall down, and what they had meat to eat. You know, Yahweh Shai followed them as that rock, and what a river came out. You know, like in the you probably read some books. Or they show you like movies that it was a small ass spring that fell out of that rock. Hell no. Nah. It's a river poured out from that rock when Moses smoked that rock. You know?
They show you too, even when the Lord is making things happen and you can see it, some niggas are just destined for destruction. So what it says in the times, it said they're gonna weep and be sorrowful, but we're gonna be merry and have abundance. That word merry goes into be happy, cheerful, and full of lively joy and high spirits. But right now, we can see niggas complaining about gas. You know, they complaining about everything that's going on. So we like, hell yeah. You know, we can finally see, what the scripture say will no longer be a byword, but we're gonna actually start to see these things speak. The prophecies are starting to speak now. So as everything this kingdom begin to get more and more, broken down from within and from all angles. You niggas, y'all crying because your livelihood in Babylon is going to shit. Us, we like, yeah, we ready to get the fuck, bro. That's a sign knowing that, hey, we getting closer and closer. In the day now, we finna go home. And what it means, like, we're going to be merry and cheerful throughout these times. We're going to be happy that it's getting worse and worse. You know? Yeah. Okay. Verse 28, it says, the heathen shall envy thee, but they shall be able to do nothing against thee, said the Lord, Yahweh Shema Shai.
The heathen shall envy thee. You looking good, you looking happy. Everybody else tripping, but your mind is well. You're well in your mind because Yahweh Shema Shai. Because what scripture says, wisdom and knowledge shall be the stability of thy times. You good because you're established on Yahweh Shema Shai. You're established on that rock.
Verse 29, my hand shall cover thee, so that thy children shall not see hell.
So that your children shall not see destruction. Your Yahweh Shema Shai gonna have that hedge over you. That's why a man of the Lord gonna be what? More precious than gold.
Okay, huh? Yeah. This is this is the book of 2nd Ezra, chapter 15 and 4. For all the unfaithful shall die in their unfaithfulness. Which is going to be contrary to what? To the Lord having a set amount of men who's preserved in the faith, because Hebrews 1 and tell us, see the things you're speaking of, and this is what's gonna keep us, focused and keep us going, keep us pushing. Because we understand that even going into the top of your lesson, we're gonna be good in bad times. Because why? Because now faith is the substance of things hoped for and the evidence of things not seen. And this and scripture say by it the others have obtained a good report. And by it also, hey, we looking forward to those things Yahweh Shai said he's gonna have happen, man. Because at the end of the day, we're gonna need the same power that's bringing all this. We're gonna need Yahweh Shai because we believe Yahweh Shai. Hey, just like the non-believers of our people, they don't believe this is coming, right? Because if they did, they would have, what scripture say, they would have hearkened, But us being in somewhat, the times what they would say is good times now, whatnot. Hey, even in the time of what they said, the calm of the day, we can see the hill coming, we can see it coming because why? And Yahweh Shai said it would, and looking back. Hey, the Lord brought, just like in Egypt back then, when he brought us out of Egypt, and he took care of us, he gonna do it again, bringing us out this Egypt. But we understand that again, Jacob's trouble got to happen, man. And Esau being that wicked, he's not gonna get away unpunished. So that's what we're looking forward to, also, man. And all our people that have joined hand with this, man, shit, they gonna receive the same as what their father getting, man. So this is what we're looking forward to.
I got a precept for that 29. It says my hand shall cover thee, and thy children shall not see hell. It said the Lord's hand is gonna cover us. You got Psalms 18 and 2. It said the Lord Yahweh Shema Shai with Lord in all caps. It's the Lord Yahweh is my rock and my fortress and my deliverer, my power, my strength, in whom I will trust. My buckler and my horn of salvation and my high tower. Going to the Lord is our strength. He's our sword. He's our ability to defend ourselves. He's also the ability to protect us as well. So we get protection through Yahweh Shema Shai. Because even if you look at spiritual power, you might be able to do these things physically yourself, but ultimately that's the Lord giving you the ability to do that. So even though, like Jake said, I can defend myself, no, the Lord giving you the ability to defend yourself. That's what he means by the Lord is my strength. The Lord is my fortress. The fortress, when you go into that, the fortress was a defense mechanism for for a castle or for a land or whatever.
Yeah, so I got that too. That's a place of safety, that shield, that and then that's another thing. See, because in the bad times, the flood gonna come in. Esau gonna come in like a flood. Because that's gonna be a part of Jacob's trouble, man. But the Lord. Again, that standard gonna be lifted, so that's another thing we got to look forward to. The Lord is gonna lift up a certain man with the spiritual power, man. So this ain't no little statement, The Lord about to make a statement in the earth, man. The weight that this gonna carry, the weight that it carry with us now in the spirit. But wait till the Lord do it. So this is what we're looking forward to, man. And the Lord's and the brothers say, the Lord gonna be with us in that time, man. Lord willing, that we part of the elect, man. Because it's only for the elect. And again, I can get that real quick, brother. Psalms.
Basically, we powerless. We ain't got no power. So we don't have no ability within ourselves. That's why the scripture calls us a worm. What kind of worm do nothing? If you don't have spiritual powers in these times, everything else is sufficient. You can't do nothing. You get the Lord's mercy. The Lord don't activate this spiritual power, or cause divine intervention where angels have us, shielded from what's happening, man. We have zero power within ourselves to do anything in this situation, man. All our power comes from Yahweh Shema. That's our only hope in this, man. If it had not been for the Lord, now may Israel safe.
I was just picking up worms yesterday, messing with the garden. And they so damn, so fragile that they are ripped in half right there in your hand, So, without Yahweh Shema Shai, Esau just being that sword, he'll run right through you, man.
And then what he finna do at 2:30? Esau finna mow niggas down, man. But like the Lord gonna put the spirit, and Esau gonna be like that man. He gonna go crazy, man. And there's no defense against, what the Lord has given this man carnally, to go as civilians. You see, what this man got, is top warfare gear. He's gonna use that on civilians, man. So there's no defense, that we possess. There's no way to prepare for this man. We at the mercy of the Lord. The Lord don't intervene. It's over with. You gotta go.
This is all Psalms 91:7. 1,000 shall fall at thy side, and 10,000 at thy right hand, but it shall not come nigh thee. Going into all that, the destruction of the plagues, how about Shai got coming, and even ultimately, Lord willing, like I said, Esau Edom. So where again we lift it up, and we got that protection, that shield, because being covered with with the angels, how about Shai got for us, man, But script say at least we dashed our foot against the stone, So the Lord got he got a hedge, man, for certain, for certain individuals, man, and it's gonna be for the elect. We understand they're martyrs, but for the vast majority, the elect gonna be good, man. We just gotta keep, script say, keep fast what we got, And again, constantly, brothers going on to it, constantly, pray to Yahweh Shai to be kept. Because it's gonna take that divine intervention, to come against this madman who's gonna be sparing none.
You read down. You read that again, but read down to 10, please.
It says, Psalm 91:7, 1,000 shall fall at thy side, and 10,000 at thy right hand, but it shall not come nigh thee.
It's like it said 1,000 shall fall at thy right side. What's the second part?
Is that right hand?
And 1,000 at thy right hand. So we're gonna be seeing people fall all over the place for various reasons. We're gonna be seeing a lot of raping. We're gonna be seeing a lot of death. We're gonna be seeing a lot of people dying from starvation. We're gonna be seeing death on every side, on every hand, and from every kind of way. You're saying show 1,000 ways to die. And the Lord got many more ways than that. But we're gonna be seeing that on every side. What's that? Read the last part again.
It says, but it shall not come nigh thee.
But it shall not come nigh thee. So while we seeing all this going, we got that faith and trust in Yahweh Shai. If we of that number, ain't none of that gonna come near us. Now we're gonna be tested, we're gonna be tried, but ultimately, destruction of us being or us being taken away by what's coming is not gonna happen because Yahweh Shai got our back.
It says, verse 8, only with thine eyes shall thou behold and see the reward of the wicked.
Only with thy eyes. So what? You gonna see it, y'all, but don't worry, it ain't gonna touch you. You ain't gotta worry about it. You ain't gotta worry about it because you're gonna probably hear it on the news. This many people died in New York or Chicago, blah, 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 so on and so forth. This happening, that happening. One day, you might not see the news anymore. You're gonna be in the news. Like I held in North Carolina in the news. Your ass gonna be it. God. Yeah.
It's gonna be so coming to where it's just gonna happen. Like when people start falling, it ain't gonna be, boo-hooing and be like he got all people. It's gonna be a common thing to see death, bro. You know how bad it's gonna get for us, a common thing to see death every day, bro. Like we see it now, but it's gonna be on a level to where it ain't finna be the news people ain't gonna be going because they're gonna be scared to go to work. 12, which y'all like calling the police, ain't finna be nothing of them out there. Ain't finna be no 911. The Lord finna pull the plug on all that shit. So how much more when it ain't nobody that you can call when somebody breaking into your house. So what the scripture said, thy neighbor shall break into thy house and spoil it with the sword. Like you ain't finna be able to call nobody. All you gonna have, like Jaquan was saying, you're gonna be like worms. You're gonna be completely powerless unless you got Yahweh Shai that gives you the ability to defend yourself for some type of deliverance via the angel or however the Lord decide to do it.
And that's gonna be a miraculous work. So you see a brother getting shot at, but none of that working like you quoted in the truck. Black Adam. He caught the bullet and said, "Your magic is weak."
What we said? I said it's gonna take spiritual power. You nigga can't. You ain't got enough bulletproof vest. Let me be the one to tell you. for a fact, you ain't got enough bulletproof vests. You ain't got enough bullets. You ain't got enough of none of that. What? It's a sand fight, fire with fire. Ultimately, Esau has been given a certain type of power from Yahweh Ba'Shem Yahushua. So we're going to need a certain type of power from Yahweh Ba'Shem Yahushua to be delivered.
You're going to need a blessing to combat a blessing.
Yeah, you're gonna need that right hand combat that left.
Okay.
Because it's still coming from the same source. But only the person that's putting it out there has the ability to make it stop, increase on one side. Like the Lord got full authority. Full authority. He don't need nobody's permission. You ain't got you ask the Lord, if you do this, I'll do this. You're out of there. The Lord has full authority to do everything that He's gonna do. So He has full authority to deliver us, and we know He's gonna do it. Our righteous are will that number if we hold fast.
10, bro.
Appreciate it, bro.
No, he going 10, verse 9.
Yeah, verse 9 it says, because thou hast made Yahweh Ba'Hashem Yahushua, which is my refuge, even the Most High thy habitation, there shall no evil befall thee, neither shall any plague come nigh thy dwelling.
Your mind been on Yahweh Ba'Shem Yahushua. Your mind been on His words. His promises, His prophecy. You've been watching. You've been watching for His words to come true, to see Him fulfilled. You've been watching. What? That's you dwelling with Yahweh Ba'Shem Yahushua. See? Verse 10.
You want that was 10.
Yeah,
10. I got another precept going there while you getting that.
This is Zechariah 13:8. It said, it shall come to pass in all the land, saith the Lord Yahweh, 2 parts therein, going into 2/3 of the nation of Israel, shall be cut off and die. But the third, going into the elect, shall be left therein. And I will bring the third through the fire and refine them as silver is refined and try them as gold is tried. Going into how we're gonna be tried. We're gonna go through our testing. But the Lord is gonna give us the I like to do what you've been saying, ladies. We've been praying for courage. The Lord is gonna give us the courage and the strength to go through what we're going through. It says, and they shall call on my name, and I will hear them, and I will say, it is my people, and they shall say, the Lord Yahweh is my power.
What's going to be being refined? That faith. Faith is going to be being refined, because you're going to go through trouble. You're going to see the Lord deliver you out of it. You're going to go through it again. The Lord going to deliver you out of it, and your faith going to keep getting stronger and stronger and stronger until you're going to be able to. It was this. I'm going to quote from this movie called The Book of Clarence. He said, roughly paraphrase, he said, no, I don't believe, I know. Yahweh Ba'Shem Yahushua is a real power. He's going to deliver you. He has the power to do so. You're going to know. It's no longer going to be a thing of what if, maybe. You going to truly know.
It's easy for niggas to say no. Like we're going to that word courage. It's easy to say now what you gonna do and what you ain't gonna do. Like I ain't taking no seat here. Yeah, nigga, you got a house to go to. You got a car to get you to work every day. Gas prices are high, but you niggas still find a way to move. What you gonna do when the Lord cut all of that out, man? He gonna cut all of that out. So we pray that the Lord give us the courage to be able to these things we talk about, how we're gonna stand up. We're not gonna take the MOTB. Our Rathas are. We say that now, but we pray the Lord give us the courage to go through with that.
Which all be all. Some kids to be at 30. That's what it is. It's some kids, man. That woman, them kids, bro. If you ain't finding in Yahweh, them kids gonna, and that woman gonna. Yep, that's what it is. And that's hard, bro. That's hard as fuck, man.
You gotta be able to have in your head already that, hey, shit, if it happens, shit. One thing I do know is hell, where they going, they gonna be a lot better than me right now. That's how you gotta think about it. Like shit, it is what it is. Because the Lord said, whatever, we're gonna get that 100-fold. Whatever we lose here or don't have it, we're gonna get that times 100. It's gonna be even more than that. But you gotta, like Jaquan get into, you gotta have that in your head already that whatever the Lord had to go through, that might be your testing. That might be the testing for whoever it is. But hey, it's easy to say that now that hey, I'm willing to watch this happen. It's good, like fuck it. But when that happens, you gotta pray that the Lord give you the courage. Because a lot of people ain't never been through It's a certain situation that the average nigga ain't seen before.
Comes to a time when nobody seen that.
Yeah.
Going back to the precept.
The precept, yeah.
Time like never before.
And
Nobody seen this shit.
Daniel 12 chapter verse 1. Same thing.
Nobody seen this shit. There's gonna be a lot of women gonna take the kids down there and get this.
Oh, yeah.
Yep.
You gonna come home, they're gonna have that. You know that. So you gotta. We in the mindset now. Say, hey, you might make it on the chair of the solo artist. You know what I'm saying? You get your reward on the chair. You know? So we had a mindset like Lot, man. Lot had to keep moving. He couldn't look back.
Yeah.
But we finna I say we come to a time that nobody has ever seen it. That's why right now this is the time of conditioning. This is the time of constantly denying yourself. This is the time of constantly being isolated from this world, being dead to this world now. You know, being the villain now. So you're gonna be the villain on a whole nother level when they come with this propaganda. You see, if you can't stand being the villain in your house or being the villain in your family or being the villain in a certain situation, how you gonna be the villain when the propaganda gonna be global? You're gonna be a global villain soon, man. Yeah. You know, so the conditioning starting now. You know, because hey, the elect have a mindset, you know, that we don't give a damn about the opinions of the world, okay, or what people think, how people react to our decision making, how foolish we look, man. You know, because it's gonna look crazy as hell for us to lose everything just because we don't want to comply.
Yeah.
You know, but these people don't have a vision beyond this place, man. We got a vision beyond this shit. You know, that's why, you know, daily, you know, every day, you know, sacrifice a little more. That's why like the preachers do that daily, you know, sacrifice, man. You know, because what they did, they kept them in tune. When you how about shooting outside, they were their daily connection, man. They would do a morning and an evening sacrifice, man. Their daily connection, they kept your frequency high, man. Because it don't take long to drift into the world, okay, and get lost in the sauce, man. You know, find out, because our temptation gonna really see, is our faith authentic or not? You're gonna really see. But I think he told Abraham, look, you gotta sacrifice Isaac. You gotta think about that, man. Like, he told him, I need that. So you don't know what the Lord gonna require, man. Yeah. You know, that's why you gotta have a mindset now. Say anything or anybody. Yeah. You gotta say that to yourself every day. Anything or anybody. You know, all this shit temporal, man. We're not gonna know what's eternal till we get on the chair. You know?
Y'all gonna get tested.
Yeah.
Y'all gonna be tested. All right. And then the Revelation say temptation on the whole world. Right. So y'all gonna be, especially like we said earlier, man, about them kids, bro, the white. Like brother said, like grab your kid, take on down and get it. Come back. They got the shit so that they got food here. Goddamn, like what happened? What happened? What happened? He over there crying. He's starving. And that gonna get a lot of people. Kids, you see my kid crying and shit. Fold. Women gonna fold. And women gonna fold. I'm being real that they gonna fold. If they ain't with right now, you have my shot, they gonna fold. Mm-hmm. And 2/3 they gonna fold. I don't give goddamn they gonna fold. I knew it happened like a couple years ago. I'm gonna get society back, man. You can't go to the bar, man. You can't do this. You can't go out of town. What did the motherfuckers do? What the niggas do?
Well, they ran down there, goddamn took that
and did it. It's the same thing. It's the same thing. She coming. It's coming. So if you with the Lord, you're not with the Lord, and that's all it is.
Yeah. So we finna change empires, man. That's right. You know, you go into the Bible. The Bible is a book about empires, man. You know, and we got the last empire, which is the kingdom of Israel, that is yet to come. You know, let's go to Daniel and walk down these empires.
This is the book of Daniel, chapter 7, verse 1. Yep. In the first year of Nebuchadnezzar, king of Babylon, Daniel had a dream and visions.
Yep.
Visions of his head upon his bed.
Yeah, so Daniel received a lot of heavy visions, okay, during this captivity, during the Babylonian Empire, all right, and then this short time in the Medo-Persian Empire. Okay, so this is during the time of Nebuchadnezzar. This is when Daniel was younger. You know, it said the first year of Nebuchadnezzar. You know, go ahead.
Then he wrote the dream and told the sum of the matters.
Go ahead.
Daniel spake and said, I saw in my vision by the night, and behold, the four winds of the heaven strove upon the great sea.
Yeah, so the four winds of heaven strove upon the great sea. Go ahead.
And four beasts came up from the sea, diverse one from another.
Yeah, and the sea is people. You know, so out of the people of the earth, you had empires emerge, okay, from amongst the people in the earth. You know, you have different sects of people that will emerge and establish empires, man. Go ahead.
It says the first was like a lion.
Yep.
And had eagle's wings.
So the first was like a lion and had eagle's wings. What was their first?
Syrian Babylonian.
Babylonian
Empire. You know, that the wings represent the Assyrian, and the lion represents the Babylonian Empire. Go ahead.
It says, I beheld till the wings were plucked, and it was lifted up from the earth.
Yeah, so the wings was plucked because Babylon was, you know, a province within the Assyrian Empire. Okay, but what you had, Nabopolassar, which is Nebuchadnezzar's father, all right, he had made an alliance with the Medes. You know, because Nebuchadnezzar, he married a Midianite woman, a Midianite princess. You know, Nebuchadnezzar was married into the family, the royal family of the Medes. Okay, but it was the Medes, all right, in Babylon. Okay, at the time of Nabopolassar, what do? They rose up and they overthrew the Assyrians. You know, that's why they call it the Assyrian Babylonian Empire, because the overthrow came from within. That's why the wings was connected to the lion, because their kingdom was connected. You know, but the Babylonians became, all right, the empire, you know, and absorbed the Assyrian Empire. Go ahead.
It says, it made stand upon the feet.
Yep.
As a man, and a man's heart was given to it.
Yo, that's Nebuchadnezzar. Okay, because under Nebuchadnezzar, Babylon was established as a mighty empire. He was a conquering king. You know, go ahead.
Verse 5. Behold, another beast, a second like a bear, and it raised itself up on one side.
Yep. So when you go into what you were saying earlier, bro, what they call it, the animals, how people play out, you know, these characters.
It's called
anthropomorphic.
Anthropomorphic.
Yeah, anthropomorphic.
Yeah. Explain what you was talking about.
Anthropomorphic. They give all human characteristics to animal creatures.
Yep. So you go to the scripture, the Lord is giving these animal characteristics to these empires.
Yeah.
You know, so this bear, all right, it was a bear. It's real aggressive. All right, it's mighty. You know, so this is speaking of what? The empire. This is speaking of the bear.
Was the Medes?
Medium Persian.
The Medes and the
Persian
Persians.
Empire. That's the bear. Go ahead.
It says, and it had 3 ribs in his mouth, in the mouth of it, between the teeth of it.
So the 3 ribs is what?
What was it? Egypt, Babylon, and
Lydia.
Lydia.
Yeah, Lydia. So those are 3, all right, empires. You know, those are 3 kingdoms that the Medo-Persian has taken down. You know, because you had Cyrus, okay, the Great. He took down the empire of Babylon and Lydia, and it was his son Cambyses that took down Egypt. You know, he died on his way back, going through the desert of Egypt. You know, go ahead.
It says, and they said, thus unto it, arise, devour much flesh.
Yep, devour much flesh, which means conquer much people. You know, because the Medo-Persian Empire was a vast empire. You read in the book of Esther, it goes to how it had 127 provinces. You know, well, it took Xerxes 6 months, you know, to give a tour of his kingdom. You know, you got to go.
Verse 6. After this, I beheld, lo, another like a leopard, which had upon the back of it 4 wings of a fowl.
Yeah, and then leopard, real quick, see which big cat has the highest kill rate. Which big cat has the highest kill rate? You just stay there, brother guy. And look up which cat, because this leopard is speaking to who?
The Greeks.
Greeks on the who?
On the
Alexander.
Alexander.
On the Alexander.
Alexander.
So this leopard is speaking of the Greeks on the Alexander. You know, and they refer to him as a leopard. All right. The leopard is swift. Okay. It's a cunning hunter. You see,
It says a cheetah.
cheetah.
Mm-hmm.
What did they do? Give a list of?
They don't give a list, just went straight into it.
Because like a leopard, man, that's just so strong, man. They would take them.
Yeah, the leopard is the third.
Leopard.
Right.
Yeah. So it got a high kill rate.
Great. That's the third.
Yeah.
Third
But it's so you go to the armies of Alexander, they were extremely efficient. You know, with the small numbers they had, but they were extremely efficient. You know, when it came to company, you know, because he hunted the nigga Darius III down. You know, you go into those wars between the Greeks and the Empire. All right, Alexander, he hunted this nigga down. You know, like a leopard, he stalked. Go to
Look at the craftiness, bro. I think that's what it is. For me,
yeah.
the craftiness of a leopard, I can get it if I need to. So I think that's what it went into about how a leopard is very stealth. If you look at how they hunt a little differently because their skin, their fur also it camouflages great. You know, a lion, and you look at all other animals that hunt, they pretty much hunt in a certain terrain. You know, a leopard he can move around. He's quick, he's swift, and he can blend in a whole lot better. I think that you got it.
What it says is the craftiness of a leopard is unmatched among big cats.
Yeah, that's what they craft.
It says
Because going into Alexander, which it was the Lord, you know, at the end of the day, because when you look at these generals that are strategic, they're fulfilling the purpose of the Lord. You know, because the scriptures say how the Lord put the thoughts in the mind of men on the bed. Okay, so you go into how Alexander moved. You know, he was moving very strategic, very crafty. You know, that's why I like him into a leopard. You know, you got
It says,
now let me finish.
it says relying on stealth, problem solving, and sheer adaptability.
Yeah, he had to adapt because he was coming from Macedonia, but then he had to cross over into the Mesopotamia. So he was coming into new regions that he had never dealt with before, you know, but the Lord had the spirit on him to adapt, you know, and the advantage he had over the big Medo-Persian army was that he had swiftness. He was agile, you know, and like I say, he stalked down that whole empire, you know.
It got three masterful hunting tactics. Just gonna read them. It says invisible ambush, soundless movement, and shadow hunting.
Yeah, and that was the spirit that was on Alexander. You know, you go into those different wars, man. They would always surprise, you know, the Medo-Persian military. You know, they would outflank them. You know, they would be bold. You know, they'll cut through the middle. You know, Alexander, he was on the front line. You see. So when you go into that leopard, this is speaking of the Greek Empire under Alexander. Going back to what's that term you say again, bro?
Anthropomorphic.
Yeah. What's it going to?
Anthropomorphic is giving human characteristics to animal creatures by giving them human form, personalities, and looks.
Yeah.
You know, and then, you know, they people use them to as they muse or avatar.
Yeah.
You know.
They take on the spirit
Mm-hmm.
of how the animal moves, going to like you were saying.
Like say Russia's bear. Russia, the bear, so they Russia like that.
Vast empire, mighty.
Yeah.
You know, grind you down.
Yeah.
You got it, bro.
Go back in 7. This is back in Daniel 7, verse 8. Well, it's like verse 6. It says, after this I beheld, and lo, another like a leopard, which had upon the back of it 4 wings of a fowl. The beast also had 4 heads, and dominion was given to it.
Yeah, so those 4 heads, what those 4 heads, 4 wings going?
4 generals.
Cassandra,
Mhm.
Lysimachus, Lucius, and Ptolemy.
Ptolemy. So they ruled with 4 winds. They had 4 different directions, you know. But we just know when it's Daniel 11 chapter. So the Ptolemaic Empire was the king of the south. Then you had really when you go into Lysimachus was in the north. Then you had Cassandra in the west, and Seleucus was really in the east, you know. But Daniel 11 called him the king of the north because he was north of Ptolemaic Empire, you know. You got it, bro.
Verse 7. It says, after this I saw in the night's vision, behold, a fourth beast, dreadful and terrible, and strong exceedingly. It had great iron teeth, and it devoured and brake in pieces, and stamped the residue with its feet of it.
And that fourth beast was who?
Rome,
Roman Empire.
the Roman Empire, first one.
Ancient pagan Roman Empire. Oh, Esau. Go ahead.
It says that it was diverse from all the beasts that were before it, and it had 10 horns.
Yep, it had 10 horns. It was diverse. What made it diverse?
The Senate.
Well,
The Senate.
And the Senate House. So they had elected officials instead of what the other kingdoms had.
They had like a monarchy.
Democrats and all.
They would call back then. They called the plebeians and patricians.
Yes,
Yep, plebeians and patricians. But it was similar to what you were saying. Democrats. It's the same thing.
Same thing.
Different name. Because you had one that represented the wealthy and one represented the common people, supposedly. But it was corrupt back then too.
and they have two where like when it came to fighting, they also took a lot of the fighting styles or a lot of the kingdoms before it too.
I mean, yeah, everybody always borrowed each other's fight style, you know. But they didn't have nothing to do with that. They was speaking for the teeth of iron, you know, that iron weaponry they had. You know, they had superior iron weaponry. You know. And then what was they tactic? What would they overwhelm you with? Read it again.
Numbers.
That's what they call the numbers.
Legions.
Legions. Exactly. Yep, you got it.
You know, they showed on Spartacus. You watch Spartacus of the last season, and it shows you when Crassus, it's Crassus. When he came, he had them legions, man. There was a lot of them.
Like the niggas never stop coming.
Hey, you can bump, but you can't bump forever.
After they coming, man, they kept coming.
Go ahead.
Verse 8, it says, I considered the horns, and behold, there came among them another little horn, before whom there were three of the first horns plucked up from the roots.
So now it went to the four beasts, and then 10 horns with those vassals, you know, to the Roman Empire. All right, so that four beasts was a pagan Roman Empire, and those 10 horns, those vassals to pagan Rome. But then it's going to jump, because now you're going to the Renaissance phase. Okay? So now, pagan Rome fell, but remember, then the wound was healed real quick. Get Revelation 13 and 8. Gotcha. I'm already there. 13 and 8. Yep. No, 13 and 3. So
This is Revelation 13 and 3.
Yep.
And I saw one of his heads as it were wounded to death.
One of his heads, because he's going to the 7 heads. Okay, of this dragon. Matter of fact, read 2.
This is verse 2, Revelation 13 and 2. And the beast which I saw was like unto a leopard, and his feet were as the feet of a bear.
Yeah, so going back to that leopard. So we just read about the leopard. So what was the leopard in Revelation 13 and 2?
That was the Greek.
The same empire, because that's the beginning of Esau's kingdom. The Greeks was the first Edomite empire. You know, under Alexander, it was the first time when the Greeks, you know, came and dominated the earth. The Edomites came as the Greeks and dominated the earth. So the Greeks, now the feet of a bear. You just mentioned who's the bear? Russia. Not in this one. You just mentioned Russia. And what does the feet represent? The end of an empire. So the beginning of Esau's kingdom started with the Greeks under Alexander, that leopard. But then it said it had the feet like a bear, because this war with Russia gonna end Esau's empire. Because what did Jacob hold fast to?
The foot of Esau's heel.
Esau's heel. The heel is the end of a man. And when the statue that destroyed, what was the statue?
The feet left.
The feet. See that? Yeah, so what's going to start the war? What's going to be the major? What's going to be the major nation that's going to provoke this war against America, NATO, and the EU?
The bear.
America. They are already fighting Ukraine. Oh yeah. Now America talking about sending troops to Poland. Yep. You see, so this confrontation, even with Iran, guess what? Russia right there. So wherever the Western Empire go, this beast system go, Russia right there. And if they want to escalate this shit with Iran, Russia right there. They want to escalate this shit in Ukraine, Russia right there. So the Lord got their ass checkmated to wherever they go. It's the end of their ass, man. They got to deal with defeat, which is the bear. Go ahead.
It says,
Which is Russia.
and the dragon gave him his power.
Yep. And the dragon gave this empire his power. So the dragon is speaking of what?
Rome.
Rome, pagan Rome. And what we living in today is a revival of Rome. Go ahead.
And his seat and great authority.
Yeah, so the authority that, you know, this new pagan Roman Empire has is authority that the old pagan Roman Empire had. Okay? And what did the old pagan empire do, man? Okay? It put kingdoms on the tribute. It interfered in the politics of all these other nations and kingdoms.
Same thing. What they doing? You know, they got
Yeah.
aces every goddamn
Yeah,
word,
yeah.
but now they got added
Yeah.
Garrison every goddamn word.
Yep.
Same shit.
All these different allies,
Yeah.
you know, and what did Rome do? If you was an ally to Rome, they would come and build what? Roman infrastructure,
Yep.
Roman baths, Roman theaters. Just like now, you go to different countries that's allied to America, you got American-like cities.
Yep.
You got American infrastructure. You got American restaurants. Same thing Rome did.
Got
If
to
you
make
was
it
an
easy.
ally to Rome, you know,
Yep.
and guess what? As an ally, that means that look, if we have a fight, nigga, you got if we go to war, you got to be an ally. You see? But we're gonna come get you a theater, a little coliseum.
Yeah, get you some
You know?
McDonald's over there.
Yeah. But Rome will come get that tribute. You see?
Yep.
You ever been overseas before? Been to a lot of places where they had them bases and everything. Really, they restructure their whole culture to fit into like America, like you said. It makes sense, especially when you see it. Like they restructure everything. Now you go to Japan, everything in Japanese and English. And the closer you get to a base, the Japanese fade.
Because they got to make it comfortable for them all, for the American troops, them Roman troops. What they got this saying, when in Rome, do as the Romans. So they put Rome everywhere.
You got it, bro.
This is verse 3. And I saw one of his heads as it were wounded to death.
I saw one of his heads because you go into those 7 heads on this beast. One of those 7 heads on that dragon.
The German.
Was it Germany? No, West Germany, Spain.
No, that's the home.
The EU, right? No.
No, I know you got
Seven
Germanium
heads.
Germanium major, Germanium minor,
Oh yeah.
Spain.
Yep.
Spanish,
Spanish.
Spanish.
Greek.
British.
The British.
the British. We got I just did them yesterday.
Where Napoleon come from? Napoleon. Bonaparte. Napoleon.
I'm sorry. I watched the damn movie.
Think about Napoleon.
French.
See where he from?
The French.
The French. That's
Yeah,
5. 2 more. What's the 2 we just got them talking about?
Greece?
The Greek.
Greeks.
Yeah.
And then who came out the
Yeah.
Greeks?
Roman.
The Romans. That's the 7 heads.
Okay.
All right. So you got the Greeks, the Romans.
We fail, y'all.
We got it. We got
all of
it.
it.
It took some time, bro.
So you had the Greeks, the Romans, the Germanium major, Germanium minor, the Spanish, the French, and the British. And America came out of the British.
Under the home.
Yeah.
You
The
know.
whole on the beast.
So one of the heads was wounded, and their head was the Roman Empire. Right. Okay. So it came back during the Renaissance. You see, and that's when you skip. Read verse 3 again. Read 3, and then we jump back to Daniel 7 and 8.
Yeah, verse 3 says, and I saw one of his heads as it were wounded to death, but his deadly wound was healed.
Yep.
And all the world wondered after the beast.
Yeah. So the deadly wound was healed. The Renaissance period was the deadly wound of the pagan Roman Empire being revived back in the earth. And it said everyone wondered after the beast. You know. So that's why you see all these nations begin to mimic American culture, American economy, American politics. That's why you got niggas in Japan. Japan has a rich history. But what they got on now? Suits. Like they had empires, they had feet. What's that Shogun?
Shogun.
Hey, they were way more organized than the Portuguese. You seen that too? Y'all seen that? Yeah. Y'all put me on. I think Tyler won the first one, but going back into it, but you see how organized they was. You know, they had cities, they had empires, they had inheritance, they had fiefdoms. Okay, they had their own economy. They had order.
Yeah.
You know. Yeah. So now, what do you see in Japan? You see them mimicking America because Japan sold out before China. That's what made China want to sell out. When they went to the Chinese, government officials went to Japan, and they were like, God damn.
I mean,
Because they was already in bed with the heart. So they were like, shit, we want in.
I mean, they blew the shot off there. Yeah. That was that power of the dragon.
That made fire come down from heaven. It goes back to the end. Yep.
So look.
It says that before whom there was three of the first horns plucked up by the roots.
Yep.
And behold, in this horn.
So the little horn, who's the little horn? Read again.
Verse 8, it says, I considered the horns and beheld there came among them a little horn.
So who's that little horn?
America.
Oh, shit. Okay, go ahead.
It says, before whom there were of the first three, before whom there were three of the first horns plucked up by the roots.
Now, it says America was his little horn because how did America start? What was America?
It was part of British.
British
French, Spain.
How did America start? What it was before it became a country. So before they got so-called independence, what they were known as.
They split in three.
They were the British colonies.
The colonies, right.
They were the British colonies. So it says a little horn. So horn goes into power. So America started off as a little power. But then you keep reading it. Go ahead.
It says,
read again.
Verse 8, it says, I considered the horns, and behold, there came up among them another little horn.
Yeah, America started as a little power. Amongst these other three. Go ahead.
Before whom there were three of the first horns plucked up by the roots.
Yeah, so the three horns that was established first for their little horn. What was those three horns?
French,
British,
Spain,
Spanish, and French.
So you had the French was already the empire, the British was already the empire, and the Spanish was already the empire. But in America was the last one, that little horn, but it said, for whom three fell.
And them say this too. And them three, they the one conquered our people.
Yep.
Them three.
No, I was thinking
French, Spain, and British. Conquered our people.
The Spanish kicked it off with their conquistadors, because you had you go to Cortez, Fernando de Soto, all right, Rosario, Christopher Columbus. They came over here on behalf of the Spanish throne. King Ferdinand and Queen Isabella.
Yeah. Okay. 1200s.
Yep. And then how about the 1400s? 1492. Yep. That was Columbus' first expedition over here. Then you had the rest of the conquistadors come over here, man. In the Isles, Cuba, okay, Dominican Republic, Central South America, okay, and then you had the Portuguese. That's why in Brazil they speak Portuguese. They had a treaty. In Spain and Portugal, what they call the Iberian Peninsula. Where you have this peninsula where you have Spain and Portugal on the same landmass. Yeah. So they had a treaty. It's some parallel, but it's a certain line that split Brazil from the rest of South America, and the Portuguese got this side of the parallel, and the Spanish got this side. That's why you got Brazil speak Portuguese, and the rest of the South America speak Spanish. It
doesn't make sense because when you go into the Tehran, Spain and Portugal were one, but they were out when it's
yeah.
Okay. But I think you can still see the spirit of it too, because when you go to New Orleans, what you got? French quarters.
Yeah. The French came along, and that's when you got they call Hades today. Yeah. The French had a heavy influence. In Louisiana. That's why the French used to own we call the Louisiana Purchase. Yep. Because America purchased that from Napoleon. Because the elites took Napoleon to war and put his ass in debt. he had to sell all that land and get out of debt. You know, he had to sell it to the American government. But that's why he had that big swath of land given to America. You know, the last time the French went to war with the British. You see? So you had, like the brother said, the Spanish to come keep the door. They came and took down, all right, Central South America, the Isles, okay? Then you had Portugal. Then you had, it's not one of the little horns, but the Spanish. You know, then you had the British come in the 1600s. They started to send people to what? Slaves to those colonies, man. You know? So those three horns. All right? And America broke off. That little horn broke off. And it went to war. You had the War of Independence. Then you had the French-American War. Then you had the Spanish-American War. And America won all three wars. You know? Now they still was in debt to the bankers, you know, but they became an independent government, all right, and it grew into what? The horn, this little horn, it became this horn to ride the beast. It just kept growing, man. You know, you gotta go.
It says, this horn were eyes like the eyes of a man, and about speaking great things.
Yeah, because going to America, you know, America really became the mouthpiece of the elites in the earth, man. You know, speaking great things. This was a place of great rebellion. See, America is
What's up, people?
what's going on? You know, America became the motherland of wickedness in the earth, man. You know, the elites use America like a magic wand. You know, to enchant the earth, speaking great things, man. This is where the seeds of wickedness get planted throughout the earth. We start here in America, man, speaking great things, man. You know, you got it, bro.
Verse 9, I beheld till the thrones were cast down.
See, this is where we at now. You see? Now the thrones going to be cast down, the rulership, okay, of these heathens, man. Beginning with Esau, because this beast system is in power. The fourth beast has came back into power, man. All right, America's the last leg of that fourth beast. Okay? He said, I beheld till the thrones were cast down, the dominions were cast down. And who's going to cast down the dominions? Jehovah Shah. You know? So look at Revelation 19 and 11.
I say it too. Esau can't say they turned the rule. You had the Greeks, the Romans, and you got these cocksuckers here now. So you got plenty of time now. You had plenty of time now.
What you say? He had the Greeks, he had the Romans,
And he
and
got
him. So Lord gave him 3 strikes.
That's what I'm saying.
We had 3 opportunities to get it right. And we played baseball with 3 strikes out.
You got it, bro.
This is Revelation 19 and 11. And I saw heaven open, and behold, a white horse. And he that is set upon him was called Faithful and True.
And this Jehovah Shah. You see, he's the one that's going to cast down the throne of this current kingdom. You see? So you go from the Babylon, you just walk it down from the Syrians all the way to present day. You know? But who's going to come at the end? It's that stone that's going to smoke the feet. You know, hold it real quick. Daniel 2 and 33. You know, go ahead.
And in righteousness he does judge and make war.
In righteousness he does judge and make war. And he's coming to make war against the beast. What scripture say? Who shall make war with the beast? Well, the answer is Yahweh Shah. We got a champion. Okay? We got a champion that's going to come fight on behalf of his people.
Hey, I want to say this remind me of David and Goliath.
Yeah.
Who going to come out and fight Goliath?
Yeah.
How was that? The house of David.
Yeah.
Goliath was a giant in America, a great horse. You know?
You got it, bro.
This Daniel chapter 2, verse 32. This 33. His legs of iron, his feet part of iron and part of clay.
So the statue goes into the legs of iron, so that's Rome again. And then his feet, part of iron and part of clay. So what is the feet?
The end of a thing.
What empire? What did they represent today?
America.
Roman
Not
Empire.
Rome, Russia.
The feet.
America.
The feet of this statue.
The feet
America is in it, but America and what else?
Oh,
10
Rome.
toes.
Oh, the 10 toes.
Oh, 10 toes.
America, NATO, and the EU.
Oh yeah.
So that's the feet. So just like it jumped from the 4 beasts to the little horns. You know, now we went from the legs to the 10 toes. It's the same jump. Okay, from pagan Rome to the Renaissance Rome.
Mm-hmm.
So it jumps from the leg, from the iron legs to the feet. It go from pagan Rome to the revived Roman Empire, which we in today, which is the American NATO and EU.
Mm.
You see, because because Daniel 79, once you get to verse 9, once you speak about the 4 beasts, the little horn, the 3 other horns, the little horn speaking great things, becoming the great power. Then it said, I beheld till the thrones was cast down. So you go here to Daniel 2nd chapter, he speaks about the legs of iron, which is pagan Rome, the 4 beasts. Then it goes, jump straight into the revival of Rome, American NATO and EU, and what's going to happen in this time. Go ahead.
Thou sawest till that a stone was cut out without
The
hands.
stone was cut out without hands. And what does that mean?
What, the stone cut out without hands?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I know Yahweh Shai is the stone.
Yep.
Like no,
I'm gonna break the son of these
without,
people.
without hands, no man.
Yep.
The ancient of days.
It's going into that he's coming with a power that wasn't created of this realm.
Hmm.
You see, the militaries of this earth are all created with the elements of this world. How Shai coming with a power that can't be created in this world.
Hmm.
That's why I say he was a stone cut out without hands, which because you know that's why it takes so long for America to make these missiles. A lot of them handmade.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I'm saying? Yeah. But see, how Shai coming with a power that this world can't create. This realm can't create the power Yahweh Shai coming with. You got it, bro.
God, which smote the image upon his feet that were of iron and of clay.
You have to smoke the image, going back to what? America, NATO, and EU. The image, and what is Esau as the image of what? Pagan Rome back in the earth again. Well, Yahweh Shai come to break that shit up. And see, that's why they were so shook the first time. They thought Yahweh Shai was coming to break that shit up then.
Mm.
That's why Peter was ready to go to war with the Romans. Like, yeah, we can get these niggas, man.
Ready.
You know, yeah. Peter, yeah, tonight, nigga. Peter like, shit.
Nah, man. What Jake said on site.
Man, we say, he said, oh, y'all show you actually got soap. He said, I got 2.
Yeah. What y'all say? Let's meet up inside. You got it.
And break them to pieces.
Break them to pieces. Go ahead.
Then was the iron, the clay, the brass, the silver, and the gold broke into pieces together.
And it's the same order of kingdoms: the Golden Head, the Syrian Babylonian Empire, the Silver Horn, the Medo-Persian Empire, the
Strong to the weak.
Yep, the brass thighs, the Greek Empire, the iron legs, the Roman Empire. Then you get to the feet is the beast system that rules today. And Yahweh Shai gonna come break this shit up.
Mm.
This is the thrones being cast down.
Mm.
I beheld till the thrones were cast down. You know, so Daniel was seeing this, and he's seeing all the empires of the world fall at the return of Yahweh Shai. It's the stone that was cut out without hands. It came and smoked. Okay, this current leadership, man, and broke this shit up. Yahweh Shai come to break all this shit up, man. All this NATO, EU, Russia, China, technocracy, WEF, the WHO, all this old Yahweh Shai come to break all this shit up, man.
Mm.
You know, you got it.
It became like the chaff of the summer threshing floor, and the wind carried them away, that no place was found for them.
Yeah, so that's the nukes and the chariots getting busy,
Mm.
judging, man. You see, go ahead.
And the stone that smote the image became a great mountain.
Yep, a great government.
Mhm.
You see, go ahead.
And filled the whole earth.
It filled the whole earth. That government filled the whole earth. Okay, so let's go back to Daniel 79. Read a little more.
This is back in the book of Daniel, chapter 7, and verse 9. It says, I beheld to the throne and cast down.
Yep.
And the ancients of days did sit,
Yep.
whose garment was white as snow.
So who's the ancient of days?
Yahweh.
Yep. Go ahead.
The NLT says the ancient one.
Yep.
So the ancient goes into before time,
Yep.
outside the existence of time.
Right. Exactly.
It said, whose garment was white as snow, and the hair of his head like pure wool.
You know, so Daniel is seeing the Heavenly Father. He's seeing the thrones being cast down, and then he's seeing the Heavenly Father on this throne. So he's on this chariot. It's like a throne, you know, and it's surrounded by angels. You know, they're ready to do the bidding of the Lord, ready to be dispatched to whatever assignment, man. You know, so Daniel behold the glory of the Heavenly Father, man. The one who causes kingdoms to come up and kingdoms to come down. Okay? You see, so all these kingdoms we went through, guess what? It was the Most High that set them up, put them down, okay? Transition, this, that. You know, we can go, like I said, we go to the details of these different, you know, battles and wars and strategies. But it's the Most High that orchestrated all these things, man. That's why I say he beheld to the thrones are cast down, man. And this is the time we in when the thrones going to be cast down. Okay? Real yeah, we can end on that. And then I will pick up on Daniel 7 next week.
Because you were saying how you said the Lord had the ability, you know, we see how the Lord
that's
set
in
the
Psalm 75 started 5.
Psalm 75. Psalm 75.
It's one game.
2:21. What's the verse you saying?
5.
Starting 4. 4. Yep, that's it.
This is Psalm chapter 75, verse 4. I said unto the fools, deal not foolishly, and to the wicked lift not up the horn.
Yeah, so he's speaking to you Edomites, man. Most I tell you, don't be no goddamn fool. Okay? But what did this nigga do? Be a goddamn fool. Okay? He was doing fine when he was just ruling over the people. You know, when he was just dominating the earth, you know, no one could touch him economically, militarily. He was cool. But Esau said, I'm going to replace the Most High with technology. You goddamn fool.
Let me read it.
You goddamn fool.
This is Psalm 75, verse 4 and 5 in the NLT. It says, I warned the proud, stop your boasting. I told the wicked, don't raise your fist.
Yeah, that's what Esau doing. This technocracy is Esau doing this to the Most High. I'm gonna take over existence. I'm gonna chip everything. You know, I'm gonna be the one blessed. Blessings gonna come through me. Everything gotta come through me.
It said right here in verse 5, it says, don't raise your fist in deviance at the heavens, or speak in such arrogance.
Yeah, that's what this new world order is arrogant. This is what this nigga is saying, man, that he can run existence with his technology. He can do what the Most High do with his technology. And this is why Esau looking so foolish, because now we're seeing his limitations. You see, when he was in his weight class, he was dominating. But now this nigga trying to jump way up here and be the Most High with technology. Now you look like a goddamn fool. Okay? You limited as hell. You see, you got it, bro. Keep going on. Yeah, keep going on.
I said, Lord told him, hey, just
stay in your place, man. Screw what Screw said, let the pots strive with the pot shoes of the earth. Woe to him that strive against his maker. You goddamn fool.
What's that?
You like that.
What's that other one? Don't fight against someone stronger than thee.
Yeah. The fact, you know what I'm saying, nigga, I'm immortal.
I put
You not. Yeah, nigga. Let's start there. You can't kill me, I can kill you. But you want to start a war.
Kill your ass, bring you back and kill you again. Verse 6, it says, For no one on earth from east to west, or even from the wilderness, should raise a deviant first, a defiant fist.
Read it,
KJV, it says, for promotion cometh near from the east, cometh neither. Slacken 75, Psalm 75 and 6. For promotion cometh neither from the east, nor from the west, nor from the south. But the Most High is the judge. He put it down one and set it up another.
So promotion doesn't come from within the earth. Promotion to rulership comes from the heavens. The Most High got to ordain a kingdom to come in power. That's why he was able to tell Daniel who was going to rule next. This boom. Then them, then them. Little horn, the 3 they going to fall. You know what I'm saying? The Most High was telling Daniel about the 1800s and 1900s, back in 500 BC. You know, they were telling him about shit that was going to happen a few centuries ago, thousands of years ago.
You know the same thing about it, bro. You know, when Jacob took hold of Esau right in the hill.
Yep.
When you think about it, Esau is the end of the world.
Yep.
He's the last
In the feet.
in the feet.
In the feet.
Like, maybe, bro, like you wanted to earlier. You saying like we like worms. When it said the promotion don't come from the south nor the east, it don't come from anywhere. But the Lord said everything. Going back to it said at the beginning, listen, we are worms. All our power, no matter what side you want, comes from Yahweh Shema Shai. He said Esau up in all his positions. He gonna take that nigga down. He gonna set Jacob up under the stead of Yahweh Shai. It's gonna be an everlasting kingdom.
Yep, this is the last regime change. You know, it's gonna be a righteous regime. You see, and this is what the Lord had intended all the way from Adam. You know, the Lord had this set up all the way from Adam to now. And now that's why I say, hey, I will say, let's end it with this real quick. Luke 10 and 22.
Ellis servant, you know. I'm just really thinking about that, man. Like, he gonna
be at that time.
Yeah. Get Esau there.
Okay, you get a whole script all the way down. We're gonna have word for word, moment for moment.
This is Luke chapter 10, verse 22. All things are delivered to me of my Father.
Luke 10 and 22. We go 24.
24.
Yeah.
For I tell you that many prophets and kings have desired to see those things which ye see, and have not seen them, and to hear those things which ye hear, and have not heard them.
Yeah, so now we're in the time where we're seeing the things that our forefathers inquired about, and that was promises finally being given unto Jacob, that fulfillment of that everlasting kingdom. You know, but now we're here. Everything done played out. So now Esau got to make his last few moves. You know, that's why we just and the Lord put us on the front row. Watch this nigga fail, man. You know, he really got us trolling this nigga, man. What do you call the game? A heckler. We a heckler. You know, this nigga airballing. Nigga getting crossed. You know, I ran crossed that nigga there, man. Yeah, I ran hitting them step backs on his ass. Like, God damn.
Ain't the common word for a heckler today is instigator?
Yeah. So, that's the point. All right, brothers. All right, and you sisters edified once again. We give all praise and glory to truth.
Yeah, how about Shem Yahushua by Shem Kadash?
Double hundreds of the apostles and the elders, GMS, who will teach with. Be great example to the brothers. Peace and blessings.
Shalom.
Yeah. I think I was paying like
showed up. You gotta save your son. Just let me go. Let it go. Put pressure on his son's leg and jump the fence. You say, yeah, I won, nigga. You know what I'm saying? But yeah, long story short, that's me. Isaiah. Cold train Isaiah. We going at it, man. You know,
Drumline, the nemesis between what's on your boy,
Nick Cannon
character, Major. Remember, he got caught. Of course, I just closed doors.
Nick came in as a know-it-all.
Yeah.
I got a woman right now that I work with, man. People that she's under, outside her too, bro, they hate her. Because every time you try to show her what to do, I know how to do it. But then when you tell her to do it, don't know shit. Don't know a goddamn thing.
But there's proof that self-exalting spirit, that's a demon, you know. But that's why it's best to be humble, to walk in humility, right, and not be prideful over anything, because everything that we have was given by Yahweh Shem Yahushua. Even though you're an Israelite, it was given by Yahweh Shem Yahushua. And these guys want to be Israelite bangers, and they want to hate on so-called other Israelites just because they want to be that sold one image to the top of the building. It's in Babylon, man.
That's what Ecclesiastes 17:16. Every man from his youth is given to evil. Neither could they make to themselves fleshly hearts or stones. Yeah, I mean, we still have, like, at this time frame, we have the spirit of Yahweh Shemashah, but most importantly, we still have what? Those fucking stony hearts.
Yeah,
So, like the four above the makes us saying, the law, statutes, and commandments were on those fucking laws. I mean, so like, there was on those stones, which was symbolic of what? How we was going to be stiff-necked hard. You know, when you go to the book of Jeremiah, it talks about how we was like to uncircumcised, but we wasn't talking circumcised people. It talks about where the laws, statutes, and the commandments cannot penetrate your mind. So right now we out here because of the will of the Most High, but at the same time, like, we still have those phone calls.
Yep.
And then you got fucking Maccabee out there talking about, goddamn it, that he got a fleshly heart, but he's aging, don't got all his 32 teeth, and you obese. With agony on your fucking face. I don't like that.
Hey, you remember what the word Cherokee means? They said it meant principal people.
Cherokee.
Yeah, I have to look it up. Okay, I know you just still got all the tools.
Yeah, it did a minute.
I know what's going on, but I explain it later. But hey, with that, we hope this was an edification. Once again, we want to give our honor and glory to
Yahweh Ba'ashem Yahushua Ba'ashem Kakadash.
want to give double honor to our elder apostles and elder bishops of Great Millstone. We well. Peace and blessings, such and wonders to the house of the elect.
Abba, Kom Yashala, Shalom.
I got you.